Good day, students. Today we will read the second poem, that is An Elementary Classroom in a Slum. This poem is written by Stephen Spender. So we will read about the poet. Stephen Harold Spender was born on February 28, 1909 in London. He attended Oxford University and fought in the Spanish Civil War. In the 1920s and 1930s, he associated with other poets and socialists, and his early poetry was often inspired by social protest. During World War II, Spender was a member of the National Fire Service. After the war, he made several visits to the United States, teaching and lecturing at universities. And in 1965, he became the first non American to serve as poetry consultant to the Library of Congress. In 1970, he was appointed the professor of English at University College in London, and he was knighted in 1983. Spender died on July 16, 1995. Introduction of the poem. The poem written by Stephen Spender describes the social inequalities which are prevailing in the society. In the poem, he describes the condition of the students of an elementary school which is situated in a slum area. The poet wants to draw attention of everyone towards these kids so that their life can be improved and they may get trained to become good citizens rather than criminals. The poem has been written in free verse, so it doesn't have rhyming scheme. Stanza 1. The poet describes the children who study in an elementary school which is situated in slum area. The poet says that the faces of children are dull and without any energy. They are not full of energy like other kids of their age. These children are compared to unwanted weed. Here, the writer wants to say that these children seem to be unwanted, like the unwanted weeds, which grow on their own in the fields. Their hair is not neatly done. It falls on their pale faces as if they have been torn apart. The children are untidy. They haven't combed their hair. Then he describes a tall girl who seems to be burdened by poverty. Her head is bent, maybe because of tiredness or shame. There is another boy who is so weak and thin that he has been compared to a sheet of paper. The boy's eyes reflect greed and he wants to achieve everything. Then he describes another student who is physically disabled. The poet says that this boy is unlucky because he inherited a disease from his father, due to which he has a deformed body. Instead of getting any facility from his father, he has received a disease in heritage. This disabled boy is sitting on his bench and is reciting his lesson. At the back of the class, in dim dark area, was a small boy who was not visible to the poet as he was sitting in darkness. The poet could see his eyes, which were bright and full of energy. He was not paying attention to the class. It seemed as if he was rather interested in playing with squirrels in the tree house. Stanza 2. the, the poet describes the walls of the school. They are cream in color, like the color of sour cream. This means that the walls are not clean. They have not been painted recently. The walls are covered with different charts and images that must have been donated by different people. There is a picture of Shakespeare on the wall. His head, which is bald, looks like the rising sun at the horizon. At the time of daybreak, the sun is rising at the horizon and is semicircular, like a dome shape. It seems to be behind all the cities. There is a picture of the famous Troilus Valley, which has beautiful flowers. There is the image of a map, which helps all in its own way. But for these children, the map of the world is irrelevant. and the slum where they live is different from what is shown in the map. Their world is only what they see out of the window of the classroom, that is, slum. Their future is full of darkness. Their future is compared to a narrow street, which means that there is no wide scope available for their future growth. These children are far away from the radiant light of knowledge and education. Stanza 3. The poet further says that these children living in the slum area have faced so many hardships that they feel every other person to be their enemy. For them, Shakespeare is an evil man. They don't find the map to be good thing. They were never liked or loved by anyone. Therefore, they hate almost everyone. Their desire of being loved by others forces them to steal. They live in small homes. They have started adjusting to it. Their life is going towards an endless night. This means that their future is full of darkness. These kids are so thin that one can easily see their bones through the thin layer of skin. Their skin is like the thin layer of cloth, and the bones beneath are visible through the skin. These kids suffer from malnutrition. They wear spectacles which are made of steel, and they are cheap and very uncomfortable. Even the lenses in the spectacles are repaired. The spectacles look like stones which have been repaired with pieces of glass sticking out of them. Here the poet tries to explain that these kids have to face so many hardships in their lives. As the slums are getting bigger, they will destroy the future of these children, and it is very difficult for such kids to escape from them. Stanza 4. The poet says that government should take notice of the problems being faced by these kids. He urges them to change the life of these kids and make the world map a reality for them. There is a need to break the restrictions which are put on them due to poverty and lack of resources. He wants the governor and public to help these kids in achieving their dreams, as this will take them away from fog to blue sky. The poet here wants to say that in this way, their kids can be taken from the darkness of their present to a bright future. He wants these kids to experience the sands and beauty of nature, as this will lead to a desire of gaining knowledge. They will then go through the white green leaves. Here the white leaves depicts book and green leaves depict nature. This will then result in the progress, and they will be able to paint a bright future for themselves. Literary devices. Metaphor and simile. The difference between these two devices is that in simile we use like or as for comparison. In metaphor we don't use like or as. Alliteration. It means repetition of a consonant sound in a line or phrase. Allusion. Reference to well-known person or place, like Shakespeare's head. Anaphora. Use of repeated words in two consecutive lines, like run azure and run naked. Assonance. Repetition of vowel sound, like belled, flowery, troilus valley. Theme of the poem. In this poem, the Stephen Spender deals with the theme of social injustice and class inequalities. He presents the theme by talking of two different and incompatible worlds. The world of the rich and the civilized has nothing to do with the world of narrow lanes and cramped holes. The gap between these two worlds highlights social disparities and class inequalities. Meanings. Gusty waves. It means breezy winds. Parlor means pale and dull face. Weeds, unwanted plants that grow on their own. Paper, seeming boy, very thin boy. Troilus Valley, a beautiful ice-free valley in Austria. Cramped, confined. Catacombs, tomb or cemetery. Azure, deep blue. Wicked, evil. Tempted, persuade. So this is the end of the today's lecture. So we will meet soon with the next video. Thank you. Take care.